and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'd like to go back to a country I went to a couple of weeks ago, and that country was France. But today I'd like to have a look at one of their single meal exercise rations. Now these are one of their newer latest incarnations. They're in a slightly smaller box. So let's get this on a table and see what this pack contains. And as you can see, I now have here on the table this French individual exercise ration. This particular one is the menu 4. This is one of the newer versions, which is a slightly smaller box than the previous, and that has the best before date of 01/2026, so it's a nice fresh ration. This particular one is a single meal with a heating kit, and I think it's sausages in a tomato based sauce. So as you can see, very simplistic cardboard box with cellophane wrapping, no easy open tear strips, so I'll bring in a whole friend just to help with that cellophane. There is a little tab on the side there just to pull open. So what does this French menu number 4 individual exercise ration actually contain? Well, straight off the bat we have a small and handy heating kit, a hexamine stove and fuel. We have a bar of 70% chocolate, 70% cocoa chocolate. We have the tissues or TP, whichever comes first. We have a semolina cake style pudding. We have some pate. I believe this is a deer pate. We have coffee and a 300-gram mains of the sausages in a tomato based sauce. So this is the contents of this French Army menu 4 individual exercise ration. So let's get these out on a tray and see what they look and taste like. And so, as you can see, I now have the contents of this French single meal menu 4 laid out on the tray. Now I've preheated the mains. I've boiled it in water for 10 minutes. And I'm going to start where I normally like to start, and that is with the drinks. There is only a coffee in this exercise ration. No whitener, no sugar, so it's simple black coffee. So it is a medium looking roast granules there, and again there is no spoon or utensil, so I'm going to bring in, you know, the US MRE spoon, and with that just make about 1/2 to 3/4 of a mug of coffee. I shall give it about 1/2 a mug. And because there is no other drink to clean the palate, and troops always carry water, so I'm just going to have some water on the side there. And before I open everything, I'm just going to work my way along, and we'll start off with the dark chocolate, 70% cocoa. So this is a fresh ration, so I'm not expecting it to be bloomed. So there is 4 bricks of the dark chocolate. I'm going to go along, have a look at this venison or deer pate. Now I did realise there is no crackers. Pate is normally eaten on crackers, so I'm assuming you're meant to eat it just straight out of the tin. That's very unusual and usually quite sickly. We'll see. So there is a deer pate, deer meat there. We also can have a look at this semolina cake with caramel. Oh, it's quite wet. Very wet. There is a wet caramel coating going on there. Just wipe my hands. Now it's time for the mains. It's just a sausage in a tomato based sauce. I'd already cracked the lid to let out some of the steam. So the ingredient says, oh, that's a good start, a Toulouse style sausage. So looking there straight off the bat, there is 2 full sausages mixed with some tomatoes and various other ingredients, and because I have and because I can, I'm going to bring in a bowl there just to help with presentation and cleaning up after. Scoop all that out. As always, this is going to form my lunch for today, so it's looking good, nice and tasty. Let's move that to one side. So, very simplistic, simple meal. So I'm going to start straight off just with the coffee. So it's a dark looking roast with no milk there. It's a good coffee. Nice taste, no bitterness there, even without sugar. There's no hint of bitterness. For me, because I like mine white and with sugar, just a sugar and a touch of milk would make this a perfect cup of coffee. But it is a very good instant, black coffee. Now, just clean my palate a little there. So, I think we shall go straight to the mains. So, we can see some rice, some carrot, there is some bell peppers, there is some lentils, there are 2 sausages, 2 large sausages, very hot. I think you can see the steam coming off. It's been boiling for 10 minutes and it's in a tomato based sauce. So let's first of all have a try of the side components. So I can see lentils, rice, onion, peppers, tomato. Nicely cooked. Just about enough salt and pepper seasoning. There is some herbs going on in there. I would suggest perhaps some basil and a few other herbs. The rice is nice and soft, nicely cooked. Easy to chew. Trying to think of a flavour. It's a tomato based sauce, so a bit like a marinara or a ragu style sauce flavour with rice, beans, lentils. Nice flavours going on in the background. Let's have a piece of this sausage. Toulouse sausage was on the description. Chunky, soft, very difficult to tell what meat that is. I think it's pork, but again the sausage also has a few herbs and spices going on in there. Salt, pepper, meaty, chewy, filling, a really nice, tasty, enjoyable dish. I'm going to enjoy finishing that for my lunch. Let's have a little coffee to clear the palate, and also some of the water. Nice, tasty, enjoyable. So have a look at this deer pate. It's more like a thick meat. I thought it would have needed a cracker, but more like a meat. Okay. Thick spam. Has a pate sort of taste, but a meat texture. It's a strange pate combination. Nice flavour. There was a little bit of liver going on in there. There is a hint of venison. I wouldn't know it was venison unless I knew, for reading off the label. I would say it's more of a pork, but I can see why. There's no need for crackers. It's got a texture of a luncheon meat or spam, a little bit more coarse than that, so you can eat straight out of the tin. Crackers obviously would help, but not needed. Add a little bit to the mains, so I've got the pate on the mains. That goes well. That goes well. It's just like adding a corned beef style. That's more the texture, like a corned beef, than a pate, but a pate flavour. It's a strange thing to describe. It's got that hint of liver, but the texture is more like a corned beef. So it does go on its own, in with the mains. Really bulks them up. A little bit more texture, flavour. Again, let's check clean my palate. Now I'm going to finish this, as I keep saying, so I'm going to bring in another spoon. I have a Russian spoon just sitting on the side there to have a look at this semolina cake with caramel. Now there's a floating liquid on the top there, so I'm just going to dig down. That's very soft, very creamy looking. Very sweet. It's almost like a set mousse. That caramel flavouring is very delicate, like a caramel sauce floating on the top, but it is certainly caramel flavoured, not overly sweet, like a set mousse. Or I think a set pudding, not they have in the US. Again, tasty, sweet, milky, semolina cake pudding. Like a milky, sweet pudding with caramel flavouring. Again, a very nice, cold, enjoyable pudding, which I'm going to enjoy after I finish the mains. Quick look at the chocolate. Nice snap, 70% cocoa. Firm chocolate. Brittle chocolate. When you bite it, it first crumbles in your mouth. Not overly bitter. Usually when you're getting towards the 70% and above, starts to get bitter, but this is not bitter. Good chocolate. Good quality cocoa. Nice, eatable chocolate. Certainly you could drop a cube or two in the coffee to make a mocha, but I'm going to enjoy eating that on its own. So overall, this French individual exercise ration, menu number 4, is very enjoyable, very tasty. There is nothing there I dislike, and I'd certainly have that without hesitation again. So thumbs up to the French, and thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.